The missile was already in the air, somewhere above hostile territory. Enemy radar had locked on, alarms were screaming, and a surface-to-air missile ripped through the sky at supersonic speed, built for one purpose only: destroy anything that dared cross that border. Any other aircraft would have turned back. Any other pilot would have prayed. But not this one. Because the jet slicing through the stratosphere wasn't running, it was accelerating, higher, faster, untouchable. In a matter of seconds, the missile simply fell behind, swallowed by distance, chasing a ghost it would never reach. That ghost had a name, and it was American. At the height of the Cold War, when the world stood balanced on the edge of nuclear annihilation, and every move made by the Soviet Union could mean the difference between peace and catastrophe, the United States needed more than courage. It needed vision. Satellites weren't enough. Borders were sealed. Enemies were hiding weapons where no one could see. So America did what it has always done when the odds look impossible. It built something the world said couldn't be built. Behind locked doors in the California desert, a secret group of engineers and dreamers, known only as Skunk Works, began crafting a machine that would defy physics, rewrite aviation history, and quietly become one of the greatest strategic advantages ever created. They didn't use ordinary metal. At those speeds, aluminum would melt like butter. Steel would fail. So they turned to titanium, rare, stubborn, almost impossible to shape. Ironically, much of it had to be purchased through shell companies from the very nation they were preparing to spy on. It was a masterstroke of Cold War irony, the enemy unknowingly supplying the bones of the aircraft that would outfly every defense they had. Piece by piece, bolt by bolt, the shape emerged, long, black, sharp as a blade, less like an airplane and more like something stolen from the future. When it finally took to the sky for the first time in December 1964, the world didn't understand what had just happened. But the pilots did. The moment the throttles opened and those engines roared to life, the Blackbird didn't just fly, it hunted. Climbing past 80,000 feet, higher than most jets could even dream of reaching, it cruised at more than 3 times the speed of sound, over 2,000 miles per hour. At that altitude, the sky darkened, the curve of the earth appeared, and the world below felt small and silent. Radar struggled to see it. Missiles couldn't catch it. Fighters couldn't touch it. The fastest threats humanity could build were suddenly too slow. For more than 2 decades, the SR-71 Blackbird flew straight into the most dangerous airspace on Earth. Over Vietnam, over Eastern Europe, over the Persian Gulf, carrying no weapons, no escorts, just 2 crew members and absolute trust and speed. 1 pilot, 1 reconnaissance officer, no guns, no defenses, because it didn't need them. Its defense was simple and beautiful. Outrun everything, and it worked. Mission after mission, thousands of hours over enemy territory, and not a single Blackbird was ever shot down by hostile fire. Not one. In the deadliest chess match of the 20th century, this aircraft moved wherever it wanted, and nobody could stop it. Then came the flight that turned legend into myth. In 1990, 1 Blackbird lifted off from Los Angeles and aimed east. No refueling stops, no delays, just raw power. It crossed mountains, deserts, and entire states in minutes, streaking across America so fast it almost outraced the sunrise itself, landing in Washington, D.C. just 64 minutes later. Coast to coast, in barely more than an hour. A country that normally takes days to cross had just been conquered by pure engineering and nerve. Even after its military service ended, the story didn't stop. NASA took the Blackbird and pushed it even further, using it to pioneer the future of supersonic travel and space-age propulsion. It wasn't just a spy plane anymore. It became a bridge to tomorrow, inspiring new generations of scientists, astronauts, and dreamers who grew up staring at that sleek black silhouette and realizing that limits are sometimes just challenges waiting to be broken. Today, it rests quietly in museums, cold and still, like a retired warrior. Kids walk past it, families take pictures, but what they're really looking at isn't just metal and fuel lines and rivets. They're looking at a moment in history when America refused to be outmatched, when innovation beat fear, when courage flew faster than any weapon on Earth, because the SR-71 Blackbird wasn't just an airplane, it was a statement. If you threaten the United States, we won't just defend the sky, we will own it, and we will fly so fast, you'll never even see us coming.
If you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you very much.